first thought that I had was just what you had just said, right? Like, isn't this everything that Title IX was passed to prevent from happening? What do you mean you're going to give the trophy to the man in the women's 200 freestyle?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, hit that bell notification. You get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And I appreciate each and every one of you very much for subscribing and all the comments lately and watching the videos. I just cannot thank everybody enough. So keep it coming. I feel the love. Let's go. So today, it's going to get a little crazy. It's going to get a little weird. But I want to see what you all think about the video I'm about to show. And there's 3 different parts of the video that I'm going to show, and I'm not going to go through the whole video. So I'll talk about a little bit about a section, stop, fast forward it. You know what I'm saying? So this is Riley Gaines on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about her experience with, in women's sports, her sport, specifically swimming, and about what she went through with Leah Thomas, swimming against Leah Thomas, and men being in women's sports, which I absolutely 1,000,000% disagree with. Men of any sort being in women's sports. It is insane to me that it's a thing. Like, women fought for their own rights. Women had to fight for their rights to vote. They had to fight for their rights to have their own sporting events, everything. Okay. And this is not that long ago. And now we are just shitting all over biological women by letting men compete with them and take scholarships from them. And she's about to explain why she has been such an advocate for being against men and competing in women's sports. Okay. And if you don't know who Riley Gaines is, she's a NCAA. She's not in college anymore, I don't believe, but she's an NCAA swimmer who started speaking out against men and women's sports. And the person she spoke out against the biggest was Leah Thomas, because that's who she competed against, that dude. So let's listen to this first little part, see what she says. I'll talk a little bit about it, and I want to know what y'all think in the comment section below.
At this national championships, right? This national championships where we had Leah Thomas, who is a male, a man, self-identifying as a woman. We were told we fully had to treat this person as a woman, right? This same national championships, we had another athlete who was transitioning. But this athlete is a female who was then self-identifying as a man from Yale. Izzy now goes by the name of Isaac. And we were told we fully had to treat this person as a man.
Which is insane. Let's be honest here. It's insane to think that, like, that's normal, dude. Yeah, you want to be a man? All right, cool, you're a man. You want to be a woman? All right, cool, you're a woman. Oh, you still got a dick? Yeah, you're still a woman. What is a woman?
Optics purposes here, to give you perspective of what this looked like from our eyes. Okay, finals of the 100 freestyle. Top 8 women in the entire nation.
Air quotes women.
Air quotes women. Yeah, for those that don't have video, air quotes women. Top 8 women in the entire country. And you've got a 6'4" man in a women's swimsuit with a bulge next to a woman wearing only a Speedo with nothing covering her top.
Oh.
Your reaction was my reaction, because I'm sitting there watching.
Y'all hear what she just said? Listen to that one more time. Listen to that one more time.
In the entire country. And you've got a 6'4" man in a women's swimsuit with a bulge next to a woman wearing only a Speedo with nothing covering her top. Your reaction was my reaction.
Y'all hear what she did? Now listen, I've known I'm not deep into this stuff because I don't have any kids, not in college. I have my own business and I work alone. So I'm up to date on a lot of stuff because I get on YouTube and, I try to stay updated on stuff as much as possible. And it's been kind of been hard not to hear about all this stuff, but I never heard about this. A woman identifying as a man got on the block to swim and her tits are hanging out. I wonder if she has little ones, little A cups or something. Maybe it's not that big of a deal, but dude, bro, still, what are we doing? Then you got a dude who is in the women's circuit on the block in the same stretch with Riley, who has a bulge, got his wang sticking out, swimming as a woman with no shirt on either. Like, bro, it's the craziest thing to me in the world that is going on. I had no idea. I never heard about that at all. Dude, it's so crazy to me that that's allowed to be happening in schools. Okay, if it's college now, they're all adults, but still, dude, it is insane to me. It's like, where are we going in the world, dude? Where are we going? Like, everybody's make believe, like from when you're a kid, like, oh, I'm a make believe. I'm going to the moon. All your make believe is now reality, dude. It is weird Twilight Zone shit. It is weird. So, all right. Enough about that little section. That's weird enough. Now, I'm going to roll ahead and we're going to see her explain the silencing tactics that they were using to silence real women such as herself from basically talking or standing up against men competing in women's sports. So let's go ahead and go right on through here and see what she says here. And I think you're going to find, it just gets better and better. And the last part I have for you that she talks about, if this doesn't make you pissed off and blow your mind and make you sick to your stomach about the way we are headed in this country, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where your head's at, dude. Because this is, which talks about here is wrong. And then the last part is like, it just gets worse and worse. So let's go ahead and listen to pay close attention to what she's saying.
To be willing to kind of put my name and face to it. Because I was scared at first. Based on just kind of the silencing tactics that were used to keep us quiet, right? Like we were told, you'll never get a job if you speak out about this. Your employer is going to look you up and see that you're a transphobe. And you don't want that, do you? You don't want everyone to think that you're transphobic.
Was this a conversation that someone actually had with you?
Yeah. We had to go to training, Joe, to learn how.
Could you imagine being a real woman and having them be like, well, you don't really want to talk about it. Like, you don't want people to think you're transphobic. Like, you won't be able to get a job. Like, scaring young biological women into not standing up for themselves. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
And you don't want that, do you? You don't want everyone to think that you're transphobic.
Was this a conversation that someone actually had with you?
Yeah. We had to go to training, Joe, to learn how to
accept that you're being cheated.
A senior in college.
Yeah.
21 years old.
Yeah.
They brought in an outside professional, again, air quotes, because what in the world, how can you be an outside professional who sat us down and taught us how to use she, her pronouns? Again, a senior in college. I'm like, am I really?
Taught you how? You, an actual she, her.
An actual she, her.
How do you use she, her pronouns?
We had to go.
Y'all, you see what I'm saying? You got to sit down a real woman and tell her about using she, her pronouns. A real, like Joe said, a real she, her. And you know what I find to be a big problem is women, there's a lot of women that are okay with this, and you should not be okay with it. You should not be. Doesn't mean that these people are transgenders and self-identifiers, they can't live free in their world, doing what they want to do, but you're not going to be allowed to knock a real woman down a notch off the pedestal because you want to cheat. And to me, you're a womanizer. You're an abuser, dude. You are a man. Compete with men. And it's almost always a man competing as a woman, not a woman competing with men as a man.
Go through these interview questions. They threw a question at us. If we didn't answer their fake interview question to their standard, we had to go through it again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
Ridiculous.
Thomas's teammates, right? 16 of these girls, plus their parents at the beginning of the season, signed on to a letter expressing their discomfort in the locker room. I kid you not. The university responded back with, and I have a screenshot of their response. If you, as women, feel uncomfortable seeing male genitalia, here are some counseling resources that you should seek in an attempt to re-educate yourselves.
Re-educate yourself that that's a she-ness. That's not a penis.
That's a she-ness.
Oh.
Queeness penis.
So does Leah Thompson have sex?
Okay. That's the last part of that little section, but I'm going to play this again. Listen to what they're saying. If a real woman, you feel uncomfortable with this man in your locker room, here's something you can read to re-educate yourself. Wow. What a kick in the teeth, dude.
Shot of their response.
Listen to this.
If you, as women,
listen to this.
their parents
Listen
at the
to
beginning of the season signed on to a letter.
And the fact you got a bunch of women's parents signing a letter not advocating for a male with a penis being in the locker room with their daughters. And the university replies like this.
Expressing their discomfort in the locker room. I kid you not. The university responded back with, and I have a screenshot of their response. If you, as women, feel uncomfortable seeing male genitalia, here are some counseling resources that you should seek in an attempt to re-educate yourselves.
Re-educate yourself that that's a she-ness. That's not a penis.
That's a she-ness.
Oh.
Queeness penis.
Okay. Sheenus, dude. I've never heard that before. Tell me that's not crazy. A woman is uncomfortable with a male being in the locker room with her. He still has a penis. He's just identifying as a woman. He's not trying to actually be a woman. And she goes on here in the next little bit. I'm not going to show this part, but I'll send a link. I'll save a link down below for this video, and you can watch it yourself, because I just wanted to cover what I thought was the most important points of this short video. But she starts talking about how dude was still interacting with women in a sexual way while identifying as a woman, competing against women, and being in a women's locker room. These parents write letters and the students about how uncomfortable they are with this dude being in there. And the university says, you just need to re-educate yourself if you feel uncomfortable. That is insanity to me. I mean, those girls, it doesn't matter to them. So one dude gets to his feelings and what he wants rules over the whole locker room, or at least the majority of the locker room. Why? Why is that? What's the agenda? When you have such a small percentage of people that they're trying to plant these people and take over women's sports. I don't understand what the end game here is. Let women compete as women, let men compete as men. If you're not good enough as a man to win, work harder. Don't go compete with women, you freaking loser. So anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about this little section. This last part I'm going to play is Riley Gaines talking about how she raced Leah Thomas, how they did in the race against each other, and then what transpired after that, and why she did not get the trophy. This part is the part I was talking about before. If this doesn't infuriate you and just make you sick to your stomach and pissed and all that all at once, dude, I don't know what you need to wake up, because this is not okay, especially if you have daughters and they compete in sports. Actually, whether they do or don't. You want to do your daughter in school or out in public, walk into a public restroom and there's dudes in there? Well, but they identify as a woman. Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think about this?
Really what had thrusted me over the edge into no longer being willing to lie, ultimately, is he and I raced in the 200 freestyle. This is the day after he swam the 500 freestyle and won a national title, beat out Olympians, beating out American record holders, right? Keep in mind, these aren't scrubs. They're the most impressive and accomplished female swimmers this world has ever seen. And again, he beat them all by body links.
Listen to that. These are the top level, cream of the crop women competitive, women swimmers. And he smokes them all, dude. That's crazy. Oh, no, but there's no difference between a man and a woman. What is a woman? I don't know. Okay.
Scrubs, they're the most impressive and accomplished female swimmers this world has ever seen. And again, he beat them all by body links. 1 second might not sound like a lot of time, but in the sport of swimming, again, measured down to the 100th of a second, 1 second is significant. He beat the entire nation by almost, the entire nation of women by almost 2 full seconds. Even the time he went last year would have beat every girl in the country this past season by nearly 2 full seconds.
Dude, listen, let that sink in real quick. 2 whole seconds. The women's nationals, he beat by a whole second. The first place woman, or the second place woman. He beat all women in the nation by 2 seconds. That's 1,000, 2 1,000. Dude, that is a lot of time in a competition. Go watch a race. Go watch a swim competition. Go watch a track meet. And the top people in a competitive meet, dude, nobody is winning by 2 seconds. Nobody's winning by 1 second. That's a blowout, dude. Like 100-meter dash, if you beat someone by a whole second, they're doing 200-meter in the pool. A whole second, dude? Come on, man. Like, for real, dude.
The entire nation the entire nation of women by almost 2 full seconds. Even the time he went last year would have beat every girl in the country this past season by nearly 2 full seconds. Making him the first man to win a Division I NCAA women's title, trailblazer. But the second day of competition,
Pioneer,
the day
dude.
after this, he and I raced in the 200 freestyle.
Okay. Listen, dude, this part will blow your mind. And again, if it does not blow your mind and piss you off, dude, something's going on with you. You need to rethink. But I know y'all out there can think. I know y'all are going to agree with me on this because it's pretty crazy. Listen.
But the second day of competition, the day after this, he and I race in the 200 freestyle. Look, we get on the blocks, dive off, swim 8 laps of freestyle, touch the ball at the end. I look up at the scoreboard, and almost impossibly enough, Joe, we had gone the exact same time, meaning, of course, we had tied.
Listen to that, dude.
Which is it's incredibly embarrassing for a 6'4" man to not even be able to beat like a 5'5" female.
She tied him. How badass is she, dude? And yeah, for him, you go to women's and you still this girl, they tied, which is unbelievable. You don't
It's incredibly embarrassing for a 6'4" man to not even be able to beat like a 5'5" female. But again, going a minute and 40-ish seconds and not even 1/100th separated us. You can't tell me that's not divine intervention. But tied, we get up.
Dude, look at that. Look at that, dude. Riley Gaines. I didn't know she went to the University of Kentucky. Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas, 14340. Dude, you cannot. That is so crazy. He's 6'4", she's 5'5". How, dude, she's tough. Hell, that Taylor Ruck, dude. Jeez, oh Pete. That's crazy. 141 beat him by 2 seconds. Whoever that is, tough, dude. All right.
Out of the water. We go, you can see here, we both went 143.40. Not one of us going 143.39 or 143.41, tying.
Exactly.
Get out of the water, go behind the awards podium.
Okay, this is the part that it gets really crazy. Listen to this. Really listen. Do.
0.41, tying.
Listen to this.
Get out of the water, go behind the awards podium. The NCAA official looks at both Thomas and myself. Thomas, who is towering over me, right, 6'4", and this official looks at both of us and says, "Great job, you two. But you tied, and we only have one trophy, so we're gonna give the trophy to Leah. Sorry, Riley, you don't get one."
Jesus.
Yo, oh man, my heart goes out to her, dude. Because I've been in wrestling. I've never had this happen, but I've been in competitions where, man, I really thought I was gonna win, dude, and I took second or third. I placed top 3 a lot of times when I wrestled, but you feel like you're gonna win and you end up with third place. Like, it's just, dude. But I couldn't imagine competing with somebody tying. And you go, well, we got one trophy, so we're gonna give it to this dude. Couldn't imagine being a woman and tying a dude, and then they're like, well, we're gonna give the trophy to him because well, optics.
Leah. Sorry, Riley, you don't get one. My
Jesus Christ.
Heart rate was still high, having just competed. My adrenaline was still pumping. And so the first thing that I thought ended up being the first thing that I said. And the first thought that I had was just what you had just said, right? Like, isn't this everything that Title IX was passed to prevent from happening? What do you mean you're going to give the trophy to the man in the women's 200 freestyle? I asked the question that no one dared ask all season. And I said, why? Which, of course, he didn't have an answer as to why. They didn't give him a script of what to say when someone asks you the dreaded question of why. And so his first excuse he came up with, he's stumbling on his words, and he's, well, we're actually just doing this in chronological order, he said. And so I said, okay, do you mean alphabetical? Because G comes before T. Otherwise, I literally have no idea what you're being chronological about, right? We tied. So again,
I didn't think chronological. I thought that was just in numbers. But
what's your rationale here? And finally, he realized that he didn't have a justification. He didn't have an answer for this. And so, and I actually appreciate his honesty. This is when his face changed. He looked sad. His voice changed. I could tell he didn't even believe what he was about to say. But this official looked at me and said, "Riley, I am so sorry, but we have been advised as an organization that when photos are being taken, it's crucial that the trophy's in Leah's hands. Again, you can pose with this one, but you have to give yours back. Leah takes the trophy home. You go home empty-handed, end of story. We can eventually mail you one."
Oh, my God.
Is what.
All right, mail you one. Yeah. Isn't that so? Real woman versus biological woman versus biological man. He's allowed to compete. They tie. Nope. Even though they're in a women's category, nope. He gets the trophy. Sorry, maybe we'll mail you one. You can take a picture with it, but you got to give it back. Even though you at the same exact time as him, he's going to be declared the champion in the photos, and you're not. They were advised by who? That's what I mean. People are like, oh, there's conspiracy theorists, people running the world. These devil people. I don't know who it is. I don't know what their agenda is, but there's obviously people pulling strings because she's telling you that this guy, the judge, was advised that Leah, the dude, gets the trophy, even though he did not beat her. An actual her. That is so insane to me. People should be so outraged by this. And honestly, I didn't know the extent. I didn't know about all this. I knew that he was competing against these women and he was beating them, but I didn't know that she tied until I watched this clip. And then even though she tied him, he got the trophy. He's the champion in a women's sport as a real man. Have we lost our flipping minds, dude? I don't know. I think we have. As a society, we are losing it, and we have got to turn the ship around, dude. We are the Titanic heading for the iceberg, man, the glacier. So please, let's turn this thing around. I don't want to go down with this sinking ship. I want to keep it afloat. I love this country, but if we don't stop with all this nonsense, we are going to go to hell in a handbasket. That's all I got for y'all right now. I'm sure I'll be talking a lot more about some other stuff like this. This stuff I talk about a lot in my personal life. It really fires me up. Certain things like this that happen. It's not okay. It's not right. We should not be in agree with this. They should not be allowed to compete in women's sports. And end of story. Make a trans group of sports. The problem is nobody's going to watch it. Nobody watches. Not enough people watch a lot of women's sports. A lot of women don't watch women's sports. And there's a lot of women, biological women out here that are advocating for this type of stuff. You need to stop it. Real biological women are the ones that need to be standing up the most against this stuff. They can't cancel everybody, dude. So, right is right, wrong is wrong, man. That's all I'm saying. Right is right, wrong, wrong. You got to stand up for what's right and be against what's wrong, period. Be brave. Be brave. It's going to take some guts, but you can do it. Hey, until next time, subscribe, like, share, comment. Until next time, peace.
I've traveled so far, couldn't tell you how far. Feels as though I have been a million places at once. Many lives I have lived, many battles I fought and lost.